Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We are giving you guys a UK force where we talk about Ready to Love. Yes, episode 4. Yes, episode 4, season 6, Potomac. And so
Mhm.
it has been an interesting journey so far, and the last episode was no different. We got to see different dynamics and different aspects within the show. We saw Tina and Wiley. We saw also we saw Paul and Tina. We saw a little bit of Daikya'S and the new gentleman. I forgot his name, Donovan. Precious and Donovan as well. Precious was doing a bit much. Eh? We also Precious talking also to our boy Demetrius. Demetrius out here claiming stakes on Sabrina. Sabrina getting cupcakes from Tori. Tori saying he wants Sabrina. I mean, there was a whole lot of ziggity zag zag, zigzag, ziggity zag, zigzag. But if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys so much for coming through. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is. Do me one thing: comment if you're already in the chat. Leave a little message, leave a little face heart, whatever. Let us know that you're present and alive, and ready to discuss with us as well. Hey, don't forget, stay hydrated. I am joined by some fabulous guests. I have some great people alongside myself from the UK shores. I should say England, because we're in England, to be honest. We haven't got anyone from the other places. But I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. Zion, introduce yourself, let them know who you are and where they can find you.
Hi, I'm Zion, and you can find me at Zion's Rants on YouTube and Instagram. So go check that out.
Beautiful stuff. Zion, your mic's going to pick up a lot of movement. So if you move too
Is
much
it?
with your mic, yeah, it picks up every
Okay.
sound. Literally, I could
Oh
hear
my
your heartbeat.
gosh.
Yeah. I'm kidding, but I'm just saying because
Shocking.
I can hear your heart crying out for me. Alright. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Miss Lash,
Silly.
go for it.
Hey, I'm Miss Larsh, also known as Jessica. You can find me on Instagram at Ms. Larsh, handles on the screen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. JR.
Good evening, everyone. I'm JRX TV on Instagram, and I'm also at Real VIP Training on Instagram.
I love that stuff. Love that stuff. All right, let's jump straight into conversation because, the show was quite interesting. I mean, it wasn't explosive, it wasn't crazy per se. It was just lots of little tidbits. It's almost like reading a book and getting to a certain chapter, and it's more of a case of the chapter kind of setting up for other chapters. That's what it felt like, you know what I mean? Because it was just kind of meandering along. But let's talk about some of the things that happened. Let's talk first and foremost a little bit about the new curveball that came through. We had Tina come through. Tina Turner. So Tina came through and had a date with Wiley. And she also had a date. Well, she actually had a conversation, so I should say, with Paul at the pool at the house party. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on both of those connections with Tina and what your actual. First of all, what's your thoughts on Tina and your thoughts on her connection with Wiley and Paul? I want to get your kind of thoughts on that. JR, your mic's already open, so I'm gonna hit you up. You're in a green room, so go for it, bruv.
Okay, so when Tina came in, immediately in her vignette, she said that she was looking for a father for the child. First of all, that was what she led with. And like, she's got a child from a previous relationship, and Wiley obviously being paired with her because of a similar age group. I think their date initially, I think he may have been physically attracted, she may have been physically attracted, but I got the impression that she is kind of looking for someone more mature than Wiley. Probably older and more mature than Wiley is. And I think that played out throughout the date. wasn't a bad date, but I just don't think that there's a romantic connection there.
Why do you think there's no romantic connection with Wiley and Tina?
No, I just didn't get the vibe that they were on the same page. I didn't see that. I didn't see an intimate connection, and I didn't see an instant connection. So maybe it might grow over time the more they get to know each other. But it wasn't immediate, not from that date anyway.
Totally hear that. Totally hear. What was your thoughts then to her conversation with Paul then?
With Paul, I think she felt probably a lot more comfortable talking to Paul. But Paul is one of the oldest on the show, if he may actually be the oldest. And he's made no secret about the fact that he does want to get married. And, you know, I think he is very open to possibly having another date with her. From the vibes that I've got, he hasn't immediately shut it down, and she didn't shut him down, which is a bonus for Paul. But yeah, I think she felt more comfortable with Paul, more secure than she did with Wiley. And that could also be down to first date nerves. But I get the impression that she got on more with Paul than she did with Wiley.
Good points. I'm hearing you on that. Definitely, I definitely think she felt a bit more comfortable with Paul. That's just my particular position. I won't say why just yet, but I'll let others contribute. But I hear you, JR. I hear you. Zion, what was your thoughts to this particular aspect? You know, what was your thoughts on Tina? What was your thoughts on her connections with Paul and Wiley? What did you see?
I think Tina's a pretty girl. I think Wiley was very focused on her looks. He was very like, oh yeah. Yeah, I think they're not very like, I think like Jay said, there's nothing there, I don't think. I do feel as though she's, from what I got, like, was like, she's not really over, I don't think she's over her ex. I don't know. And especially because I felt like her ex kind of did a scumbag move where he cheated on her when she was pregnant. So that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way when she was saying it. But I don't know if she should have like said that he was toxic and stuff, because it did seem like, oh, maybe she's still feeling, you know what I mean? She's still triggered by him. And yeah, it was a lot when she was saying it, because she said it twice. I think she told Paul as well, innit? Did she tell Paul the same thing?
I don't think she told him about the relationship, but I would still agree with you in the fact that she was still, it did sound like she was hurt, but I don't think she told Paul per se, as like she told Wiley. Okay,
yeah. So that, and then she made another comment after that, and she said that she's never been in love. So I was kind of like, what? I was like, so how did you get to that? Because you went from the guy, basically, you was planning everything with him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're telling Wiley that, you know, you've never been in, you want to know what it feels like to be in love and stuff like that. So I was kind of confused. That made me like,
good point.
Yeah, you had a baby and all sorts, so I don't get it.
Good point.
Yeah, so I was a bit confused with her. But yeah, she connected. I felt like she had more chemistry with Paul, though. I definitely feel like that.
Good point. Good
you
point
know.
there. Good point there. Yeah, Miss Lush, what's your thoughts on this situation?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes, you know, when people just say stuff as kind of like a wall up, like a defense mechanism, she probably was just saying it to seem like she's this girl that she's never been in love and she's open to being in love. I feel like she's definitely, the way she was talking, like he hurt her, he was toxic, she was in a toxic relationship, like he cheated. for you to have a child with someone, thinking that you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, making future plans, like, you're not just doing it with someone because you're like, oh, I like them. Like, there's a soul tie in that. You're rooted within them. For you to still talk about it, it still triggers you. And he hurt you. You even said he hurt you. So no one can hurt you like that if it was just like a one-like situation. So I don't believe that she wasn't in love, but I feel like because she's come on this show, sometimes people put a persona on a character, you know, to move forward, to package themselves in a way, maybe to make her seem more like, oh, she's never been in love. I could be that person to change. I don't know, like a mysterious. Sometimes people put this persona to be like, okay, how can I attract guys? How can I be different? How can I be unique? So I don't know if that was a play or she was trying to do some kind of, I don't know. But for you to say you haven't been in love, but you're hurt because of someone, you've had a child with someone, you was planning your life, that didn't make sense to me. When she came in, I've noticed like she made sure her girls were here to play. Her babies were here to play. They were bouncing. They were giving it the hello, how are you? So I was like, okay. I was like, that's what my eyes just went, okay. Wiley looked like he's gone to heaven. His eyes were just like, wow, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. He was thinking, okay, girl who's similar to age. She's not going to judge me because I'm younger. So I felt like he felt relaxed and comfortable and was excited to move forward. But she probably thought like he's attractive, but I can see that she wants an older guy. She wants that kind of like, I don't want to say like a daddy, but she wants that mature man to look after her. So I can see why she felt more comfortable with Paul. But I still feel like there was some kind of like sexual chemistry. They were flirting. So I wouldn't say that there wasn't any sexual chemistry between them. I felt like there was a flirtation, I guess more on Wiley's side, but she was still, you know, responding. She wasn't shying away. She wasn't blocking it off. She was going back and forth with him. So I feel like there could be another date. I don't think she's closed off to there being another date with Wiley. I feel like she's open, but in her head, you know, and sometimes women will like have a checklist or be like, well, I want a guy at this age who's doing this and doing that. She's probably in mind thinking, well, the guy I had before was toxic. I need an older, mature guy who's going to look after me. Maybe that is coined her mind to be like, this is what I want now moving forward. It was surprising that she got on with Paul but I feel like Paul presented himself differently than in other dates. So I don't know if she's getting the real Paul, but who knows? We don't know, because maybe he's been nervous, and now the more the weeks go, the real Paul might be coming out. Because if I was harsh last week, I felt bad. I was like, I was speaking for my neck. I was like, okay, let me just see, because he might surprise us all, Paul. But
I hear that 100%. Definitely agree with all you guys' sentiments and ladies' sentiments around their connection as well. I guess I want to maybe even ask a question, but I love the points brought up as well about the not being in love, but yet planning all those. You know, she pretty much said they planned everything. They were planning to do everything together and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm always interested when people say that they've been in a long-term relationship and they weren't in love. I'm always like, is it that you weren't in love, or you just have a different understanding of love now? Maybe got a deeper understanding. You know what I mean? Because you view love from an angle of what you understand. Do you know what I mean? So maybe you have a better understanding of what love is now. And that was still love to you at the point. Do you know what I mean? It might have been the greatest love, but from your end, at least there was some love there. I want to ask a question, maybe more towards the ladies, because Tina was saying about the love aspect. The question is here: have you ever stayed in a relationship knowing that you're not in love with the person, while simultaneously saying, "I think I'm in love"? Zion is smiling a lot as well. So, but I'm gonna let her go second. Miss Lash, go for it.
No, sometimes when you're comfortable in something and you're kind of scared, like you don't want to, it's too long to get to know someone new when someone already knows you inside out, when someone knows you more than you know yourself, when you're used to a certain routine, when you're used to this person, how they smell or how they hold you, or how you're just used to certain things, even though you know that it's not, might not be moving forward, and you feel like, okay, the feelings that I had before are no longer there, and you feel like you don't want to be with this person, but you feel like, who else is going to be there? Like, this is the person who's been with me for all this time. Especially when time goes on, you end up going into like a routine, like you're on a hamster wheel and you're just going through the motion. You're not feeling anything anymore. There's no connection. Even when you kiss, it just is dead. You don't feel anything, but you just, you stay. When you're, especially when you're younger, like I was in a situation, won't say name, but when I was from school through college, through university, I was with the same person, like good 8-9 years. We were unequally, like man was on road, like we were just two different people. He didn't have relationship. We were two different people, but I just stayed in it because I was in it for so long. In the beginning, I felt like it was love. Obviously, you're young, 17, 16, like, oh my gosh. And then throughout growing up into your 20s, 24, 25, with the same person, you end up just going through the motion. You're just doing the same thing. You could be on the phone to them. No one's talking, but you're just there for hours. Dead. Why are we on the phone? But you're just there for what? Collecting oxygen.
Oh my God.
So it's, we've been there.
We've been there.
We've been,
we
have been there.
Indeed. I'm hearing you, sis. I'm hearing you. Zion, what's your thoughts of this, man?
No, I haven't collected oxygen, babe. I'm sorry. I haven't. When you were saying it, I was busting up. I was thinking, like, no way. Do you know what? I get what she's saying about like people settling and things like that, but I can't do it. I just can't. I've never done that. I've never stayed in something. If I've fallen out of love, I'm out of here. Like I said, like the last one when we was on here, I did say I just can't stay in things for long. Like I feel like I'm not gonna force anything, and I don't want them to feel like they're forcing anything either. Do you know what I mean? I don't like that. Like we're walking around the house and we just hate each other's guts. Like no.
Wait,
I don't want none of that.
House. Wow,
like say you're living in the same house. I mean, you never know. Like say you live with a person or something, and like you know what I mean. That's just that's just too much. I can't do it. Can't do it. I'm out of here, man. You're not gonna catch me doing none of that. But I get. I don't know. I get why maybe some people do it. They feel like it's comfort.
Yeah.
They don't want to go nowhere. Like this is all they know. But at the end of the day, you'll find someone. You know. I don't think you should ever settle. I just don't.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're slinging it right, you might stay. JR. JR. What's your thoughts, bro? Have you ever been in a relationship, you know, and stayed in it even though you're not in love? I don't think men usually do this, but like, what's your thoughts?
No, I haven't actually done that. Okay. If I'm in a relationship and it's to the point where I've used the L word, love, then I'm pretty steadfast in staying and just seeing it out for the long haul. I do understand what the ladies are saying about being comfortable, but I look at it another way. If you've been able to build up a rapport, a relationship, where you've let your walls down, you've been vetted, interrogated, you've passed all the tests, you've ticked all the boxes that were relevant, and your partner, the girl that I'm with, has, managed to get me to say the L word, the love word, and she got me feeling that way. I'll be honest, I'm willing to overlook a lot of things in the name of love, but I may just be a hopeless romantic in that way. But if it got to the point where I couldn't honestly use the love word, then that's when I'd have to check out. If I'm no longer feeling the love, either from her or I don't feel it within myself, then it's time to move on from there.
Okay, I hear that. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate
But whilst love is the goal, then I'm willing to fight and work through everything we can to try and make it work.
Love that. Good points. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, JR. All right, cool. Let's shift the conversation away from them then. Let's talk a little bit of around Precious. And so Precious had a date with Donovan. She had a very interesting date with Donovan. I'll just play a little clip so you can even have a little look. Just remind yourself of what went down, baby, okay? Because she said she put him down, but he ain't picking up, okay? Like, she's out here playing cards, okay? So let's have a little look at what was said.
I'm ready. I've been single for 9 years, celibate for 6 months. So,
Oh, Precious, baby. Oh, Precious. Oh, Precious, baby. Zion, what's your thoughts, man? Precious.
I have been rooting for this woman. You don't understand, yeah. Being Precious, yeah, she is my top. I was like, yeah, Precious, yeah, come through. And she gets her date and she just ruins it. Ruins it. Why are you telling him you've been single? You've been, was it celibate for 6 months? He don't need to know that. Like, yeah, it was too much. It was too much for me. I was over it. I was like, girl, just don't say anything. Okay. I don't think you need to tell people that like on the first date. I feel like you should wait a little while. You know what I mean? And obviously he was feeling like you could see it in his face, he was getting it was awkward. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like it was just embarrassing. She was doing a lot during that day and like talking about, I can't even remember, was she talking about she was moist or something? I don't even know, but
like that,
yeah, and I was like, what? Like, fam, calm down. Yeah, no, you can't. I was like, I'm rooting for you, sis, but no, just no.
I hear you on that. I'll play a little bit more of the clips so you can have a little look. Remind yourselves.
As I take a sip from my drink.
as you take a sip, yep.
The frog.
So I'm busting out the seams here.
My God, she says she's busting out the seams. Miss Lush, tell me what you're saying, man. She says she's busting out the seams.
It's doing too much. Like I did before, thought, okay, this girl, she's all right. But you know when someone, she just reminds me of pick me kind of girl. Like she's really begging, like she's begging it now. Like she wants attention. So some girls feel like if I say certain things, will I get the guy excited? Like you're trying to use like sexual stuff to get the guy to want you, and that don't always work. And guys will just look at you like, okay, I'll fuck at that, I'll do that, but they're not going to say anything more to that. So you saying I hate when people just throw the celibacy thing like, well, I've been celibate. Like if you're not on a journey and you're not being abstinent, and they just throw it like, oh, well, I have, and then being like, well, oh, I'm moist and oh, I'm busting by the seams. You're speaking with a two-sided coin. Are you heads? Are you tails? Like you're doing too much. You're confusing the situation. My guy's thinking like, she's probably thinking, am I getting him hot? Her thing was, I want a reaction. She wants a reaction from him, and she wants him to be like, yeah, I want you. You don't need to tell them that you're, you're bursting at the seams and you want it. Okay, you want someone to pipe you down. All right, we understand. We hear you. But on the first date, really, do you really think that that's gonna sell, like him wanting to pick you has something serious? She shot herself in the foot like multiple times. She felt some girls do it. They want to throw things in there for a reaction or say, oh, well, I've been celibate for a guy to be like, okay, well, yeah, that's a challenge. I'm going to, you're not going to be celibate no more. Like, don't throw things in there like happily. Like, I don't know what she was doing, but she wanted to claim him as well. She's like, oh, you don't need to look no more. I was like, wow, okay. She's like, he's fine. Is he feeling what I'm feeling? I'm hot. I'm okay. All right. We understand you like him. We hear you, sis. We hear you all the way from the UK pond. We hear you. You want him. All right. But the way you're going about it, I don't think you're going to get him. He was not looking like he wants a second date with her. So, girl, she shot herself in the foot, the ankle, the thigh, everything.
Definitely hear you on that. Definitely hear you on that. JR, what's your thoughts on this? Because I recall someone said last week they don't mind Daikya'S energy when she was all up in the sexual realm. So, sir, do you mind this particular energy?
My only problem with Precious's energy on this occasion is that she didn't say specifically that she was attracted to him, and that's how he made her feel. It was a theme that was constant with every guy that she interacted with on this particular episode. And yeah, she definitely gave the vibes that she, like Lash said verbatim, she's ready to get piped down. And it wasn't necessarily just for the first date. It literally was the same theme with Demetrius and Paul, and they had to rein her in and be like, yo, you need to calm that down. I think also he may have been put off by that. I mean, he was trying to laugh it off and play it off by sipping the water a couple of times, taking those big gulps. But he definitely wasn't feeling he wasn't picking up what she was putting down, to use her analogy. The women on this season are probably more forward than sexually expressive than the previous seasons. And there's nothing wrong with that, like I said before, but you have to do it in moderation and be specific. Is it the guy that you're feeling, or is it just that you haven't been intimate with someone in such a long time that you're just feeling for it? I think they're two different distinctions, two differences. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why he was put off. I can see why a lot of people think it may have been embarrassing. She doesn't seem to be embarrassed by it, though. She seems to be quite comfortable putting it out there, just like Daikya'S does, just like Joy Playfully does. They use it as a tool to engage with the guys in the process. It's like giving that little bit of cheese in the mousetrap. And then obviously if something does go down, bam, then they've got that as ammunition to say, oh, well, you slept with me. So what did that mean? I must have been in your tap, That's what that's going to set up if they're not too careful. But thankfully, and from what we've seen so far, the guys have pretty much realized that that's what's going on. And again, no disrespect at all if that's how the ladies are, but a lot of the guys are looking for something more deeper, more meaningful. And that may come as a surprise to a lot of women, that guys just aren't that shallow where they're just looking to knock the boots. But 2022, man, guys are more intentional and we're looking for a lot more depth. Beauty's only skin deep, and booty will only go so far. So I think that, you know, he's gonna want to date around the rest of the ladies on the show, but his connection definitely isn't with Precious.
Hearing you loud and clear, man. Yeah, definitely. She put 2 on 10, man. She was on it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of sexual kind of quotations and innuendos that she was bringing to the table. It was just way too much. And the good point that you made as well about not ever really hearing that how much she connected it to her being attracted to him. She didn't say she was attracted to him, but you're right. There was a lot of sexual just energy just all over because she did it not just with him. I guess she saw it at the mixer as well. She was just ready. It felt like she was ready to throw it out to anybody. She gonna throw that ass out to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's not special. That'll make you feel special, and that'll make you feel wanted. And again, it doesn't actually work for men because of the way that men are very territorial in the way that they operate. We don't like embarrassment. We don't want men to give. We don't want to give other men any opportunity to laugh at us. So if your girl's out here doing hose downs on people's backsides, bruh, and you gonna wife that girl, it's gonna look some way. Okay, man, them are gonna look at you like, bro, what's going on? I think it's slightly different with women. They tend to try and get away that, you know, whereas us men are like, listen, you got that one chance and one chance only, bruh. She was out here, you know, trying to get on my line, trying to get on your line, and you telling me you want to wife that? Man, them have very low tolerance for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, go for it, Joe.
I just wanted to say something about that because, interestingly enough, what I've seen in the last couple of years, I've noticed like a double standard to a degree between men and women in the community. Like you said, Kojo, like there are some men, most men, that would not want to be trying to wife a girl who's putting it out there for everybody because it doesn't feel special anymore. She's not keeping it specific to them, right? But then you also have a lot of women nowadays who are attracted to the guy that enters the room that can get the most women in the room. Or, you know, like Clifton, for example, in the show, a lot of women like him. Now, we haven't seen the competition heat up over him yet, but I'm just using him as an example because a lot of women seem to like him. The challenge for some women in our community is they want to lock down the guy that all the girls want to be with. Whereas guys don't necessarily want to lock down the girl who's in a similar position. Do you feel what I'm saying? So if it's not special and unique to the guy, because we're territorial, we don't want her out there busting it down for everyone, twerking on the videos, the Instagrams, all that stuff, because our peers will see that. And they'll be like, man, I saw your girl butt cheeks out on Instagram the other day, man. Whew. You know, that's embarrassing. You go to work, you don't want your workmates telling you about what they saw on social media and all them thing there, and that's the girl on your arm. You don't want that. Whereas it's different with women because, you know, you have a guy who might be the most attractive in the room, and because he commands that, he has that aura, he commands that attention, his presence, or he may have the resources, or he may be flashing the wealth, like on his wrist or with his car or his status of some kind. They're trying to lock that down, regardless of how many girls he's beaten, if you get what I'm saying. Just wanted to put that out there.
No, I'm hearing you, sir. Any of the ladies want to reply to that? That thought? Yeah, go for it, Zion.
I don't necessarily agree.
Okay.
Just because I agree with I get what you're saying though, Jay. I get what you're saying. I don't agree on the fact that women will just go for a man because he's got this, that, and the third. I don't believe that. I feel like, me personally, I don't really like guys who they attract a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Like you see like how I would use Laverne, but then I don't know as an example. Like he wants everyone to be squeezing his butt and like just doing too much, man. Like I don't like that. Like I understand what Precious was saying, like he's very social and all of that. I get it now because we've seen what he's been doing. I get it. But generally I don't like a guy who's just like out there, like too out there and just like you get what I mean? I don't like that. Even if he's got a watch or whatever, he's got like all this flashy stuff, that does not catch me because I feel like I want to see past the material.
You're different.
Yeah, like I want to see past the material things. You know what I mean? I don't want to just look at him and be like, oh, because he's got this, that, and that. Like I'm just gonna grab that. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that doesn't make him.
I think
does that make sense?
Yeah, I think because there's growth. Like we've been through the dumb stages of when we did dumb stuff. Because I'm a teacher. I'm around kids 24/7, teenagers 24/7. The youth nowadays, especially with social media and everything, like I'm hearing girls, even 18, 19, even 20-year-olds talk about, this, like they want a guy who's got the money, they want to finesse the guy, they want the guy to take them to Dubai and holidays, this. They've got one guy who's the restaurant guy, they've got another guy who's the holiday guy who takes them on holiday, they've got this guy, they might have sugar. It's all about like, if the guy's the buffest and every girl has, like, there could be a guy who's slept with her friend, slept with this friend, slept with everyone in the same like crew or friendships, and the girl will still try and back for the guy. Like I hear how man. I see how these, but we're different, especially when we've even there's some people who are even late 20s coming into their 30s who still, because of social media and stuff, they want to be, you know, the
out
next
there.
Out there. They want to be a Megan Stallion and all these other rap. They want to be a Sweetie and they want to bust it down. They want to finesse. They want to be like, well, I can sit with bare guys because I'm in control of my body and I'm this and empowerment and I want this and I can finesse him and do this. That the mindset of a lot of people is very warped because of media and stuff and everything out there. So not everyone has the same views that we might have, but we've gone through our dumb stage. I was very dumb when I was in uni, when I was in my 20s. I was dumb. But when you've gone through stuff and you've grown, your mindset is different. What we want is quality than quantity. What we want, because we know that looks fade. There's guys that I've seen back in the day who were like, oh, they're so attractive, but now they look like they're ill. Like the beauty fades. Like people with gain weight, lose hair, no hairline, everything changes. Everything goes, like you don't look the same. So our mindset is for longevity than something that's just now and quick. This generation is a popcorn generation. They want everything quick. Boom, bish, bash. Not everyone
and then
has
they're over it like the next day.
Yeah. So even though I get where GSINAPOD is saying, because as I'm looking at it now and I'm always hearing the youth, it is very much like what he's saying. The females, just like the guy, it is very much like that.
Mhm.
Not everyone has the same mindset that we have. We
Yeah.
are like not saying a small percentage, but we are a percentage. But a lot of other girls, if you don't have the red bottoms or you're not buying me the Balenciagas, I can't even pronounce it, all these designers here, then
You know what I'm
they
saying?
don't
Not
want
even
it.
talking to you.
If
Not
you don't
even
drive,
looking
they
your
don't want it.
way.
Yeah, they're not looking.
Yeah.
They're not blinking the eyelid. They're just looking like, "Ugh, he tried to come to me and he don't even have this. Did you see his
Yeah.
watch? Did you see his shoes? Like,
Yeah.
it is very much like that. So I see where it's come from, because the
Mm.
generation now, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
scared
lot.
of.
I feel sorry for them, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot, and you know, I think both parties are making great points on both sides. You know, I think, you know, there are a lot of us too who maybe weren't necessarily involved in that, wanting that, but at the same time there was a lot of people who did want that. Do you know what I mean? I think it just depends on where you find yourself, you know. But you're right. I mean, I think what we're seeing as generations go on, the longer the fairy tale exists, you know, the longer the vanity exists. So the period of time where people usually grow up and realize it's not all about money, it's not all about looks, you know, it's not all about if he or she is popular, seems to last much longer now because we have social media. Do you know what I mean? And when you have social media, you know, it pushes the span of time that people, you know, think about those fantasies, you know, because you're seeing it in front of you every single day, and you're seeing the very people that were in school who suddenly didn't have no platform to be popular are now popular again. So it's like there was that gap of period of time where people who are popular, you don't get, if they weren't very smart or intelligent, don't get a job, they fall by the wayside. No, you're now looking at them going, oh, do you remember him? Remember her? Yeah. Now it's like, do you remember him? Remember her? Okay, we're not hearing them for years. Boom, they're on platform. Either they're the IG model or they are the guy that's getting all the girls on IG. Like, so now all their nonsense that you see, right? All the nonsense that you see suddenly is now bang in front of you. You know what I mean? Right in front of your eye. And you're like, whoa, like, is this the truth, what people believe? But it's because oftentimes it's not necessarily who are the majority, it's just the people who have the most authority in the society that they have to be able to voice those opinions. So both sides, I think, of definitely what you guys are saying. I'm seeing both your sides because I think there are a lot of women that like... The thing is that the natural aspect of it is there are key components to both sides, right? Every woman wants security. Whether you want the £1 million, whether you want the 100K, whether you want 10K, whichever you want, a woman wants security, right? Okay, no one's out here choosing broke down man or broke down gal. Let's be very honest. You're not trying to have intentionally choose somebody who's broke down. Now, if you are in choosing someone broke down, ladies and gentlemen, please, I need you to change your ways because that sounds like insecurity. Okay, that you're intentionally choosing medium ugly for yourselves. I don't. Stop that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Some of these ladies out here, JR, they be saying, I want a medium ugly guy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Mandem saying that? No, we would lose our rank if Mandem were telling each other like, fam, you know my girl, she's medium ugly, you know? I love it, fam. No. But I get what the ladies are saying. I'm just kind of being facetious because you know what I mean. I know what the ladies are saying. But I see both of you guys, both the ladies and the gentlemen. I've seen both your sides, and you're absolutely right. There is a lot of that stuff that is happening. Do you know what I mean? And the show shows it. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, you were going to say something?
And I think this is kind of what Precious's tactic is. She's trying to be Miss Popular. All right. She's not. She seems very... she seems very quiet as a person. She doesn't seem eccentric and loud, but the way she throws about the sexual vibe, everything just turns to sexual vibes.
Yeah.
So
trying
I think
to
that's what
package herself.
she's trying to use to keep the nugget in people's minds. Like, you know, I put my sexual energy out there to you, and hopefully you don't put me in the bottom because I'm somewhere in your consciousness in terms of where you're gonna rank when it comes to deliberation. I don't think she has a solid one connection yet, or two even. I think she's still trying to just avoid elimination at this point.
a quick question here. I'll just bring it up. Says true JR XTV, but at the same time, a lot of men be liking these girls on Insta and get at them. So yes, men don't want the girl out there like that, but yet they choose them from that Insta anyway. JR, do you want to explain that?
Yeah.
Basically, that's simple to explain.
Yes, go for it, sir.
All right. So when a girl is using the IGs, the OnlyFans, all these different things, they're trying to get attention, right? And there's a lot of guys who will give them that attention. That is not for a long-term relationship, though. That is not someone you want on your arm, possibly considering walking down the aisle with, mother of the kids, introducing to your mom, going to work functions with her on your arm, etc. Right? Other than footballers, basketball players, maybe rappers, you know, entertainment industry people, like, I mean, that's really the demographic that are gonna go for that type of girl. And again, those relationships very rarely last. They usually swap partners. You know, as soon as one relationship breaks down, she's off with some other basketball player or some other footballer or some other rapper, and you're dating someone who used to be with some other footballer, or, you know, that whole social circle, you know, that's where they will find that type of girl attractive. But for the guy that's more goal orientated in terms of relationships, they're not gonna put those girls in the category of wife material, wifey. And it's no disrespect. It's just that you want to be able to, again, call that girl your own. You want to wake up every day with that girl knowing that you've seen her in the nude. You've been with her through all the ups and downs, the arguments, the trials and tribulations, and the reward is exclusivity. All right? But if she's putting it out there for everybody to see it for free as well, or, you know, or there's a price on it, whatever, the fact that she's out there doing that, again, it's not a disrespect, because everybody has their own view, their own opinions, but I can imagine that most goal-orientated men that are looking for relationships, long-term marriage, you know, type relationships, they're gonna go for the girls, the ladies who are more reserved and kind of keep their bodies exclusive to the man they're with.
Yeah, JR. Any lady want to counteract that or add to that? Go for a time.
I think there's a lot of women on IG I've seen that are married, and they sling their, I was gonna say puss, yeah, but they sling their stuff like all the time. Okay, you know, they pull nane, like they do all of that, and they're married.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes me like think that it doesn't matter what you do, you can still get married. You know what I mean? You could have been selling your vagina like from, I don't know, 1995 to like now, you know what I mean? Like, and then you're married, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I mean, that's not me though, but I don't know. But that's how I feel anyway. Like, I see women who are butt-ass naked all on their Instagrams and they're married. So I'm just like, wow, like, okay. If you can get wifed, so can I. Yeah, like I'm not naked on my Instagram though, guys. I just want you to know that I'm not naked, but I'm just saying, like, if someone
Well,
could
since
get,
they're getting
you
married.
know what I mean? Yeah, I'm trying to get married too. But yeah,
So, me too, sis. Me too.
yeah, like we can still keep our clothes on, like, and get married. I'm just not out here trying to mimic everyone else's behaviors.
No.
I'm just not. Now, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be butt naked on my Instagram. I don't have the patience for that. You know? Yeah, like you said, you want your woman to be, depending on the guy, you want your woman to be fully clothed and just, you know, she's only naked and she's only getting crazy for you. Do you know what I mean? So no, I get what Jay's saying.
Yeah.
But there are women that are naked on Instagram and they're fully like wifed up, like kids, everything.
I think it's just it's the mindset of people want to have that rock and roll Kardashian lifestyle, this person lifestyle, the girl with the WAP Carly B lifestyle. They're just, some guys, it's like, again, I don't know if it's popularity, like, it's like for them, they're boasting, like, yeah, I got this girl, like, who's got 100K or 5 million followers because of this, that. She's got OnlyFans, she's making the money. And he will still be like, yeah, that's my girl. That's my wife.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people's mindset is different. Like, I look and I'm thinking, raw, like, really? Like, some people are chasing after, I'm thinking, really? But again, it's the mindset. It's like some people go through their phases of being dumb. Like, guys who want longevity and want substance are not going to go for that. But guys who just want the looks and the big breasts, big bum, small waist, Coca-Cola body, this, that's that. She looks like a Kardashian and this, that, and this trophy girlfriend, trophy wife. Gonna go for it. They don't care.
Yeah. No, I get it. Definitely agree.
That's why I made the caveat that it's usually socialites, IG models, footballers, athletes, entertainers. They all share the same girls. You know what I'm saying? Because for them, that may be goals. You know, they've got the baddest baddie out here on Instagram with X amount.
Like, you can say you've kind of had her.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that. You know what I mean?
Look at Kanye and Kim, right? He was thinking about this girl from when she released her tape with Ray J.
Yeah.
He was right.
But weren't they friends? I swear they were friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Even still, he ended up with her and gave her kids and got married and all that stuff. And, you know, the tape was out there. It's probably still out there on someone's hard drive. Many people saw it. That made no money. That was a good thing for a while, you know.
Yeah.
And him being the millionaire, now billionaire, that he is now, he doesn't have to go back to his hood and hear what his homeboys have to say about it, does he? He's in his own bubble. He's in his own world. He can do whatever he wants to do. And he knows that there's guys out there that will find his wife attractive, and also his girl is a trendsetter. Kim is a trendsetter for a whole generation of girls out here that want to follow suit and have exactly the same result as what she's got. Unfortunately, that won't necessarily happen for them like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. And I think also with this situation, I know we're kind of straying off the topic, but it's part of the show, innit? But yeah, you know, there are different types of men with different subsets. You know what I mean? You have to think as well in terms of, like you just said, there's a whole socialite issue where you're talking about status, right? There's a whole group of men who have a different status, meaning they have a different outlook when it comes to women, and because of them, they become a little bit of what we call a standard that other people think is a natural standard. This is why we have like these models on our screens as if every man wants the model girl. No, every man wants to have sex with the model girl. They ain't wifing the model girls. I'm not saying that the model girl's been wifed. There's a difference. The normal everyday man wants to sleep with the model girl. He's not trying to wife the model girl. Do you know what I mean? The ones who are normally wifing these model girls are the guys that, you remember me and you were rolling with? The guys that were insecure, you didn't get no gal, and now they've come to power. They're like, I need to get a girl that's trophy. I need a trophy gal to make me feel good. But when you've been about that stuff already, when you've already lived your life, when you already have your sense about you, it's not, you're not trying to go for, I'm not saying that you can't go for the baddest girl. I'm saying you try to look for both. You know what I'm saying? A good looking gal and one that has sense and brain. You understand? So like when I see man them going for a trophy gal, I look at them and I go, that's a you issue. You know what I mean? That's a you issue. And the trouble is, because they're always in our face, everybody assumes, both men and women, and we're looking at other parties like, oh, that's what men want, that's what women want. Until we actually sit at a table and we talk to one another, then we're like, wait, so man them actually like love handles. You would have never known because you never spoke to the man. The man them, you know what I'm saying? Man them, listen, I'm being honest with you. Listen, us men know what real body is and what not real body is. That's what I keep saying. Because our TV screens show us this, everybody assumes that men think girl body needs to be perfect. Listen, the most of us know, but we like a little bit of meat on you. You understand? We don't need it to be perfect. We've never asked for perfect, but the screen is telling us that men say they want perfection, and that's not it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we come to the table and we actually have real talks, we'll start to realize a lot of these myths that we often get put across by celebrities and that, who have they're completely different. They're on a different stratosphere. Those kind of people they have a completely different way of moving around. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but they influence the way that we look at each other from a basic level as well. So yeah, I'm giving credence to both yourselves, ladies and the gents, in this respect. Good conversation, actually. And maybe that's a live that we do one day. Maybe one day. That's going to set some hearts alight. That's we're going to be stressed. Okay, let's move on then to the madness in the kitchen. There was some madness in the kitchen. They say if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. We had Carmen coming like Miley Cyrus, like a wrecking ball, and getting between Daikya'S and Eric. And I thought it was quite interesting, actually, because my girl said she came for warfare. So, Miss Lush, what was your thoughts on Carmen coming through like a wrecking ball?
Oh, Carmen. Baby Jesus. I feel like, I don't know, because this girl confuses me. I don't know. Like, minutes I'm thinking, I like her. Minutes I'm thinking, maybe she's misunderstood. Minutes I'm just like, okay, like, what is it? I feel like a lot of people I think people are just scared. They're trying to avoid elimination. That's it, basically, point blank. Like, it's the guys who have control, right? Is it the guys who have control? Yeah. They're just like, yo, they're trying to, stamp their feet on the ground. They're trying to make statement. They're trying to also make like themselves bold and unforgettable for not just the viewers but the guys. So everything I feel like is tactics. Either you're presenting yourself in a way or you're being bold so you're not forgotten about, and everyone is just trying to map out their plan. Everyone's trying to figure out the tactics to stay in the game. They don't want to go home. They don't want to be hearing that we don't think you're ready to love. They are trying to stay in the game. So I feel like it's just a tactic. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the times we're not getting to see people's true selves because they're scared, especially when it comes close to a liberation and knowing people got to go home. Then their true self goes out the door and they're like, what can I do to stay? What is going to keep me? And then it's just all a facade.
I'm hearing that. I like that. JR, what's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this? Carmen coming in there with the strategy and the bulldozer.
Okay. Daikya'S and the chef, let's just call him the chef because he's cooking up some marvelous stuff in the kitchen at the time. When she comes in, they continue the energy from their initial date last week, a little flirtatious vibe. And man, it was going well. And then when Carmen came in it just changed the whole polarity of the room. And Daikya'S, rightfully so, decided, you know what? I've had my few minutes and I'm sure I've laid the groundwork. And she even emphasized that by saying, I'll see you later. Or I think she said, let's hook up later, or something along those lines. And he was like, cool, you know. Carmen comes in, and obviously then we get to find out that they've got quite a few years of knowing each other, like quite a few years of history. She hired him for an event, obviously to do some cooking. And I guess something must have went down between them. I don't necessarily think it was anything special, but they may have kept in contact loosely since that initial meeting. So they know each other prior. And when Carmen came in, it was like she came in with the intention to seduce him straight away. And he was open to it. He was receptive. He didn't reciprocate the energy, but he welcomed it. Yeah, like he didn't shut her down. And she then proceeded to claim him by trying to get him to say, look, I'm your number one. Yo, you're going off of your previous meeting however many years ago, and the fact that you've got kind of a rapport with him from before the show, that doesn't automatically mean that you're his number one. He hasn't yet had the time to meet and spend time with the other ladies on the show. But I caught what he said when she said, say I'm your number one. He said, well, with my mouth, I'm saying you're my number one. But Kojo, we as men know, we have three brains. We have the brain, we have the heart, and we have the gut, like the gut instinct, right? Or some people may say the genitals, right? But he literally just said what she wanted to hear to appease her, just for that moment. But in reality, he knows his connection is probably stronger with Daikya'S. He just didn't want to cause conflict or deflate Carmen in that moment. He didn't want to let her down and say, what are you talking about? How can you tell me to tell you that how I rank you? It's up to me. You know, he didn't want to get into all of that. He seems like the type of guy that just wanted to keep it pleasant, keep it civil, and keep it moving. But I do think it was kind of a dangerous thing to do by saying that you're my number. You know, he shouldn't have even said it like that, because now he's given her the impression that she can go away and go to deliberation and say, well, he said I'm his number one. That was that could potentially be a banana skin. That's my thought.
Good points there, bro. Good points there, bro. And you're absolutely right, brother. We don't be just because, and she forced it, so that means it's not even a genuine confession. So yeah, forced the thing. Okay, I love that point. Diane, what's your thoughts?
Daikya'S. I think Daikya'S and Eric go together well. Yeah, I was a bit annoyed when Carmen just out of nowhere came in and just threw herself at Eric. I was a bit like, what the hell? Yeah, she could have went about it a bit better. I felt like she was trying to make Daikya'S jealous, and that's what I got out of it. And I was like, listen, you you're a grown-ass woman. Like, why are you even behaving like this? It was very high school, you know. It wasn't. She didn't have no manners. It wasn't like, oh, you know, am I interrupting anything? Like, sorry guys, I'll just exit and I'll come back in a bit. You know what I mean? Like, if he's still cutting garlic or something. It wasn't like it was just like, okay, like, you know, like let her talk to him, because they were having a big conversation and she just came out of nowhere. So yeah, it was a bit mad. I can't take to Carmen in this show. I can't take to her. Especially that comment she made on the green screen. I can't remember how she said it, but I was just like, yeah, she ain't shit in my mind. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, she's on that high school stuff, and especially when she said to what did she say to Eric? Something she said to Eric when Daikya'S had left. Oh, I ran her off or something like that. And it was just like, you know what you're doing. You're out here playing these games and you're a big woman. Like, calm down. It's not that deep, man. I know you fight. And the thing is, what I found strange is, like, why do they need to have people who know each other on the show already? Like, you already know him. So it's like, it's not fair. I don't think that's fair. Yeah, so it was a bit like, I don't know. She thinks she's got an upper hand because she knows him. And I don't think that's great, because when two people, especially if they haven't done anything, it may not even work anyway. If you guys are just friends, I don't think it would go any further, because they might have been there and we don't even know. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, there's a question here, which is really good, I think, because I've thought about this stuff. So, a question to you guys on the panel: would Eric allow such disrespect towards Daikya'S if they were dating? Maybe I should spin the question. Is this how he behaved? Is it an indication of how he might not defend her if this was to happen when they were dating?
Yeah, because he should have shut that down. To be fair, I would have just been like, can you give us a second, just real quick? Like, I don't know. How do you even word it?
I feel like he's just a bit timid. Like, he doesn't like confrontation. He just looks like that guy. He just avoids. He just goes with the wind. Like. Yeah,
but that's a bad thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Yeah, that's really bad, because you don't want to, like, get into a situation and he's not, like, doing anything, and then you're gonna have to pipe up as a woman. Like, that's just crazy.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
JR, what's your thoughts of that?
Yeah, I mean, he did that. Him and Daikya'S actually did have some conversation about them dating. You know, it was very light, very loose, but it was like, so are we dating now, or am I the type that you would date? It was something along those lines. And he was like, yeah, I definitely have that intention. With you.
Oh no, when he was telling her that he could, like, we will be in a relationship. He was very intentional.
Exactly, yeah.
I thought that was nice. Was nice, because he knows what he wants. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's attractive to me. But then, Carmen just ruined that whole vibe. Like, it was just dead after that.
Right, because again, he said that to Daikya'S, and then when Carmen came in, you're right, he didn't shut it down. Right? So that's why I said it's a potential banana skin now, because you've just told Carmen, you're my number one, even though she, like, she
kind of forced him.
But she pretty much said, say me number one, put him on the spot.
Yeah.
And he was just like, all right then, you're my number one. I said it with my mouth, but I didn't mean it. I didn't say it with my chest. You know, that's the type of vibe I got. I said it to keep you quiet and to keep it moving, because I'm not feeling you like that. But that's not maybe how she's going to receive that. Like I said, when she goes into deliberation now, she can say, oh, well, he told me I was the number one. And like,
that's a bomb. That's a bomb, innit? Like, that's a secret weapon.
Yeah.
combative energy.
She did it on
towards him.
purpose.
She came in there seeing Daikya'S competition. So
Yeah.
Daikya'S going to be like, oh, Eric, well, you told me that, you know, where you potentially see a relationship here with me, but yet you're telling Carmen that's your number one. Which one is it, Eric? You know, I can definitely see that playing out now.
Yeah.
So that's a banana skin that you shouldn't have dropped, and you might slip up on that one. To be fair.
I feel like she was doing it.
Yeah.
She was acting up for the cameras though. Like you could tell she was acting up for the cameras.
Of course,
It was just
like
tactics.
looking at the cameras, she-
Yeah.
Tactics. She didn't want to be a Demetrius.
Right. But, what, rolling through the hood, like looking for the But the thing is, right, I think he should have done more to protect his connection with the kid.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously where he feels the strongest connection. Despite him knowing Carmen, as long as he's known her, Daikya'S is still the one that he said he has the best connection and vibe with. And it's evident when they get around each other and the types of conversations they're having.
Yeah.
So he should have protected that a lot more.
Carmen knows what she's doing. Like, he basically just fell for the trap. She set up a trap, and because she knows him from before, so she knows he's not a confrontational person, and he'll probably just go with whatever just to kind of like move forward. He doesn't want to go into anything. But she's like, I need ammunition. I need something I can use. I need to stay in the game. I need cards. I need the blackjack. I need the queen. I need the ace. She needed her hand, and she got her hand. She was like, say it. And she knew he was going to say it. So now she's grabbed that piece of nugget. When she does go, she can drop that bomb and make everybody feel like, oh, is Eric playing? Like, she did it on purpose. Everyone is trying to use tactics to stay in the game. It's all tactics.
Yeah, she needs to be called the blue-eyed monster at this point. She's wild. She's wild, then.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing. He just fell for the trap. Sad.
You're on mute.
Sorry, thank you. I said, yeah, no, I was saying that you're absolutely right. It was, it's a banana skin because if it gets used against him later on, which more than likely probably will, because if Carmen's playing the game, she's playing the game to win. So, you know, it's a good self-destruct button she can use. If you see like the kid's getting too close, oh, but he told me I was number one, boom, blow up. And that's what I'm saying, that passivity from men is never positive. Let me not say never. The right time to be passive, there's a time to be passive. And this was really not it. And actually, I think it just, again, highlighted, you know, I think how he'll probably end up being in the relationship. Because I'm not saying you had to go, no one's saying you had to go all out. What I'm saying is set a good boundary, right? Because now you've allowed that behavior. Carmen knows she can do that to you next time, right? You know what I mean? Like, if Daikya'S has to remove herself, you've got a problem. You know, and this is what I'm talking about. As men, you know, having good control of your territory and your domain, right? It's your space. You're talking about. First of all, it's even your terrain. It's your terrain. It's your kitchen. You love that space, you know. But you know, when Carmen came in, and she came in like a wrecking ball, right? And you can see she's playing, and you can see she's moving mad to try and get Daikya'S. Your first job should have been like, Carmen, I really appreciate you coming in, but me and Daikya'S were just talking. So if you can just give us a few minutes, let me finish talking to her, and I can talk to you after, right? That sets pace and sets precedence to let her know, listen, you're not about to rush me out of a conversation, right? And that's long term. I'm thinking long term in terms of relationship, because I'm thinking if I don't set pace now, you're gonna run my head in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, if you can come in there and do that to me there, you do that thing to me in a relationship. You don't have respect for me to come in and wait and see me talking, at least politely introduce yourself. I really hate rudeness. You probably can tell. I hate it. I find it disgusting. So if I see you doing that, I'm like, why? I'm like, sorry, you saw me talking You saw me having a conversation, and I appreciate the fact that you came in here, you went to rub my shoulders, but listen, I was having a conversation with Daikya'S. So can I finish my conversation with Daikya'S? Thank you. You know what I mean? And honestly, he will find out that works much more in his favor than being passive in this moment, thinking I'm going to destroy my relationship with Carmen if I do that. Listen, if she don't want to hire you anymore, that's not the kind of employee you want to hire you in the first place. Do you understand? Because if she was your employer and she's doing this to you, coming on the show and touching you up and then putting herself in you and put you in warfare with another woman, and then after you've told her to set boundaries, she doesn't want to hire you, you've won. You don't want to be in that position where you're now every time you're with her, you've got to trample on eggshells. That don't make no sense, man. As a man, that you don't want to put yourself in that situation, man. You know what I mean? So for me, it showed a lot of passivity, and that's for me is not a good sign when it comes to dealing with conflict. I'm not saying that everybody handles conflict the same way, but you've got to get to a space where you create good boundaries and let people know this is my boundary, and I don't appreciate that. What are you saying, JL?
Even more importantly, what he could have done is when she said, say I'm your number one, he could have said, well, many years ago, you know, when I did that cookout for you, I was checking for you back. Or he could have humored his way out of it and still avoided the conflict. You know, he could have said, yeah, not anymore, or not today. You know, like,
not after that display. I would have joked it that way. Not after that display. Oh, you better start playing around.
Exactly,
get yourself out of that situation, like answering it.
Yeah, I see you trying to flirt,
Yeah.
But, you know, he could have done that. If he still wanted to avoid confrontation, he could have constructively avoided saying those words. But the moment those words came out his mouth, bam, that's ingrained in her memory, and that's that ammunition that she's gonna use to go at Daikya'S with.
Yeah, I definitely hear that, man. Definitely hear that. And not only that, he let Daikya'S walk out the room, so that's already a problem. So, you know.
With the intention of seeing him later.
Yeah, but she had to say it.
Of
Do you know what I
course.
mean? She had to say it, not him. Like, you're not in control at that point. My whole issue is that he's not in control of the scenario. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can control everything, but I recognize that energy, and that energy is fear. That's the energy. In that moment, it's fear. It's not, oh, I'm respectful. You're fearful. There's a big difference. People who are respectful know how to assert themselves in the correct manner. So the fact that he didn't say anything and waited until she had to come and say, well, I'll see you later. You know, come find me later on. It should have been, listen, I'm gonna come find you later on. He could. Do you know what I mean? You've got to show that you are a good leader by asserting yourself. I personally wouldn't have let her go anyway in the first place. I'd be like, Carmen, you're gonna have to wait because you're not about to put me in that situation. But you know what I mean. So that's what I'm saying about that. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I wouldn't want my sister to be going after this type of man. But like, listen, if a fight breaks out, he ain't never gonna defend you. He's gonna be like, listen, I'll see you later. Like, what?
He'd be referee.
Yeah. Hey, babe.
Like, okay, lady. Ding, ding, ding. Let's go. Round one.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I yeah, it is what it is. All right, cool. Let's talk about another couple who are on the show. There was another one. Why have they gone out of my head? Yes. We had AP. No, AP again this week. She had a conversation with Demetrius. I'll play a little bit of the clip so you guys can see it. It didn't go the way it was meant to go. To be honest, it wasn't just AP I was looking at. I was looking at Demetrius too. I was like, you better show me some personality. You better show me something. Let me get a little something from Demetrius. Okay. All right.
He's being vulnerable with me. She wants to have those deep conversations to where we're digging into each other's, life. It was a connection, but it wasn't on a romantic level.
Like, if people can see my life.
All right, because copyright will come after me. What's your guys' thoughts on AP on this week? Last week we spoke a little bit about her, but this week she had a conversation and she made a analogy about she's not Lois Lane to Superman. So I want to kind of get you guys' thoughts on AP. Jay, I'll let you hit off first. What's your thoughts around AP, sir?
AP, she's a latecomer. She only arrived last week, and already She shut down 3 guys. All right. 3 guys in the space of 1 week. Wiley, Demetrius, and who was the other one?
Clifton.
Clifton, yes. Said the brother vibes. He looks like a brother. Man, I don't think she's going to find the guy she's looking for on this show. And the reason why I say that is because she's so quick to shoot people down or compare them to people. And that is going to lose connections. Oh yeah, someone has already put, yeah, she didn't like Tori's braids either. She said, you know, someone in their 40s with long hair like that, that's a no-no type thing, you know. So that's 4 guys. So when she made the comment about not being the lowest lane to the Superman, let's look at that dynamic. Superman, superhero, Lois Lane is she really, I mean, I'm not even sure Superman goes and saves her a lot of the time. It's not really her that's in trouble. It's, you know, he's out there battling villains and stuff. But his alter ego loves Lois Lane, right? And she loves his alter ego. So I took that as to mean she is not out here trying to be I wouldn't say saved. That's not the vibes I got she can do everything for herself by herself. She don't need a man type vibe. Yeah, it'll be nice if I can find one on the show, but I don't need one. That's the type of vibe I got from that. It came across as more of a snarky comment rather than a term of endearment. And that I think that was off-putting. I think that's what alienated her from, that ruined that Demetrius thing straight away. And he said it in his vignette. You're just like, no, definitely don't get relationship vibes from her, because, you know, he may be looking for that Lois Lane. And by her immediately saying that she's not that, then yeah, I don't think she's gonna have a good spell on this show. She may be in jeopardy of going home very soon. I know we spoke about Precious before, but AP is pretty close as well. She's dropping them guys like dominoes. You know, she alienating them guys, man.
I'm hearing you on that, bro. I'm hearing that. I'm still not sure 100% what she actually meant by the Lois Lane Superman. I'm assuming she means she's not a damsel in distress. I think that's what she kind of meant. She's not that type of woman. She can do all right by herself. But Lois Lane can also do all right by herself. She was never a damsel in distress, actually, technically, Lois Lane. So, if anything, she actually tried to save the day a few times. Well, depends what Superman you're watching. I mean, the one that we used to watch on, Adventures of Superman or whatever. I mean, Lois Lane was quite capable, bruv. You know what I mean? So, out here, saving lives, taking out Lex Luthor herself. Mrs. Lush, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, this show is just not for her. She's clearly not over the situation. It's not like she went through a breakup. She's a widow. So you're always going to have that comparison of like, well, I had this guy, I had this great marriage for, well, I don't know if it was great, but I had this marriage with this guy for 10 years, a decade. So, and he didn't leave me. He didn't get remarried. He died. It was out of her hands. It was something that she could not control. So she's probably thinking she's done the work, but now she's in a place of like, she has to be in control. because she lost control of a situation that she had no control over. Now she's in a place where she wants to keep letting people know, like, well, I've done the work and I'm independent and I got the money, I can do it on my own, I've been doing it on my own, and okay, if you give that energy, men still want to be men. You know what I mean? You don't want to demasculate a guy and making him feel like he can't be the man. Like, if you keep saying, yeah, I can do it all by myself, then do it all by yourself. Why are you on the show? Like, I get it, we're independent, you can do it, but at the same time, like, be open, have leeway. If you're really ready and you've really done the work and you've done the therapy and you're open to this relationship and you're open to getting to know people, don't be so guarded, don't be so defensive, can't always be like, yeah, well, this, cool, you're not a damsel in distress, but you don't have to, not everything that you think you say. You don't have to voice everything. You don't have to open, not everything you think you say. Some things, it's the first date. Like, just enjoy, see if each other can connect and just talk. But she wants to control the date. She wants to control how things go. She wants to control the conversation. She's just really like, it's a trigger for her not to be in control because she's been in a situation where she had no control. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for her. You're going to comparing guys to your late husband. You're going to be saying, no, this guy's too much of a boy for me. You're going to say, oh, I wish this one took the lead and talked to me. No, but I'm not a Lois Lane and I can do for myself, but I just want someone who can match me. And it's just too many things at such a short space of time. Girl, you've just landed on the island. You have just arrived on the island. You have not been here for a while. You have just arrived. Give it a moment. You're acting like you were here from day dot. And then at the same time, I feel like it could be a fair thing. Every girl, people don't want to be eliminated. It's facts. They don't want to be sent home. So again, you're trying to think, okay, how do I stay? There's too much going on. There's tactics over here. There's, well, I've got trauma over there. This is a trigger over here, but I need control over here. There's too many pathways, it's like, how can you have a sound mind if so much is going on? It's chaotic. Your brain must be doing 10,000 miles out. It's too much. So I don't think sometimes people come on these shows because she's got a business as well. Like, you want to promote like your business and this, that. So that could be a reason why she came on. But really, this is not the place for you. Like, this is just really not the place. I don't know why you've come on. Okay, maybe to promote the business and get the people aware of who you are and stuff, but you've got a lot going on. You don't have the capacity to really allow someone to love you and to love someone because you've got so much going on. You said you've done 3 years of doing 5 years, he passed away, 3 years of doing the work. I don't see it. No, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, very good one at that. I love the way you broke that down. Good points, man. Good points as well, man. Yeah. Zion, what's your thoughts? Sorry, let me unmute you. You good?
Yeah, I think she's been like my girl said as well. Yeah, I agree with her. Yeah, I think she's trying to convince herself that she's kind of ready to love, and she's showing that she's not because of the way she's acting on the show. In a sense, every time she talks to someone, I understand that she has to bring that up, that, you know, she's a widow, and but she's not. I don't think she's ready. I don't really think she's ready to love, if I'm honest with you. She's very guarded, and I don't know. Yeah, everyone said the points that I was gonna say, to be fair, you know, but she does bring masculine energy, like about the Superman comment. I felt like, yeah, it was a bit much. And yeah, she's not clicking with Demetrius at all. I don't see anything there between them. Like, You know, she called Cliff her bro, like he looks like her brother. It was just too much. It was too much. So yeah, she's not ready to love. And like I'm not surprised if she goes home, to be honest. I'm just not like, so yeah.
Mm,
I
yeah.
feel like some people,
Mm.
it's like you might want something, but it's not what you need. She might just be
Yeah.
lonely and she just wants maybe a guy or male attention, but that's right
Yeah.
now, that's not what she needs. She still needs to do the work. There's too much going on.
I mean, good for her though. I mean, good for her for like,
Stepping out,
I
yeah.
respect, yeah, like I respected that because at certain points I was like, oh, I can't even really say much about this woman because she's actually come out and, you know, she wants to be in a different environment and, you know, dip her toe in the water again. But I don't know. I don't know. And we don't know. And also, sorry, Jay, we don't know if this is like her first time actually dating again.
Mm.
Did she mention that?
I feel, well, the way she came that she's done the work, like she hasn't. She's
Yeah.
been working on herself. 5 years he's passed, but for the past 3 years, she's just been doing the work for her to be ready
Yeah,
to get into
mentally.
a place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she said she's ready, like she's done that work. She's used
Mm.
those 3 years to hone in and focus on herself to be at a space where she is now open and ready to receive and give love. But
Yeah.
that's not what I'm seeing, baby girl.
Yeah.
That's
Because
not what I'm seeing.
even when Demetrius was like, "Are you affectionate?" and she was like, "Yeah, that's like my love language." But she wasn't giving off that. I think he was trying to like he was trying to get something out of her, and she wasn't giving it to him. So it was like,
Yeah.
nah, it's not gonna work. You're not there yet. Yeah. And even who else was saying it? I don't know if it was Tori that said, yeah, she's not ready.
It was Eric.
It was
Yeah.
Eric, that's it. Eric, yeah, he was even saying it. You can sense it when she's talking, you know? Like, I don't know. Bless her. I don't know.
I'm hearing you on that. JR, you want to say something? Go for it.
Yeah, like I just wanted to chime in on something that both Lash and Zion said. Like maybe her reason for coming on the show is that these guys are pre-screened career professional guys. They're gonna have an element of eye candy. So as well as having a good job, fairly good looking, going through the process themselves, this may be an easy route for her to take rather than going back out there in the streets and vetting and getting to know someone and giving out phone numbers and all that. She's a career woman. She ain't got time for all of that. So this may be a speed dating kind of process for her to quickly find a partner to not replace her ex, but replace the companionship that she might miss. You know, I suspect with her partner passing away, of course she's going to think about him and think about who reminds her of different people in her lives and things like that. But she's also alienating people at the same time, and that's not the objective of the show. Like they already started with 7 participants this time, which is 7 guys to pick from, and we've already had eliminations. So it's not slim pickings, but you've really got to try and hit the ground running as she's coming so late. And by immediately disqualifying 4 guys, she's making it difficult for herself. She's actually narrowing it down to maybe a couple that she hasn't yet dated on TV, as far as we can see. Paul is one of them. and maybe Laverne, I think, is the other one. But other than that, you know, I don't see her having a connection with anybody. And I think she needs to also distinguish whether she's ready to keep loving herself or she's ready to love someone else. Because she needs to bring the walls and the guards down in order to allow someone into her life to build a partnership, relationship, that teamwork element that's needed in a relationship. She might be a boss babe, she might be a boss in her career and all that stuff, but when she comes home and she shuts that front door and she takes the coat off, now you're back to being AP, the woman. And do you want to have a man there, possibly with his apron on, cooking up dinner for you, or, you know, ready to sit down and chill with you and ask you how your day was? Or do you want to continue to come home to an empty house and sit back with the memories of your ex and who couldn't live up to that expectation? I think she really needs to warm up a little bit more to these guys in the process. Otherwise, she's going to go home very soon.
I'm hearing that 100. I'm hearing that. You know, it's interesting. I think with AP, I think, you know, I'm a bit more finicky, I guess. Maybe just me personally. I think her use of words. I always talk about phraseology, words. Is very harsh. And I think that always brings a certain perspective from other people thinking that maybe you're a bit more harder than you actually are, you know. And that's why when when Demetrius asked her, "Are you affectionate?" and she said, "Yeah, that's my love language," he said, "Really?" Because he never got any of that energy from her, right? So I think she's very direct. And one thing I know about, you know, men especially is not every man can take that directness as it being a form of your softness. Oh, that's just the way she talks. A lot of men will be like, that's not, I don't care how that's the way she talks. She being mad direct, fam. Like, there's a way to deal with it, right? So that in itself comes off some way as well to other people, you know. So she may be a soft person, but the way she phrases her wording, when men speak to men, they oftentimes, when we're talking amongst each other, we do use a lot of directives, commands. We can be very direct with one another. Like, bro, just leave her. Whereas women might be like, babe, like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you spoke to me about this? Guys out here say, bro, I don't want to hear nothing else against this again, bro. Straight up, leave her, right? And so when women are doing what men are doing, the confusion for us is subconsciously what happens is a man goes, but I thought I was dealing with a woman. So now, when you talk about masculine, feminine energy, it looks like she's got more masculine energy. She might not do. It just might be the phraseology, the way she talks, right? Especially if she's in business, she's in coaching, she's in all that kind of stuff. It just might be the way she talks. But unfortunately, how men receive it is that you're hard, you're not very soft, and unfortunately, people turn away from you. Point blank in case why Demetrius asked her again twice. He said, "What, really? How can man say that after knowing you for 2 minutes, talking to you, that man's asking you, saying, you sure you're affectionate?" Man's actually questioning your your submitted essay about how you feel you're actually, you know what I mean? And that should let you know, as soon as he did that, her brain should have been thinking, oh, why do you think that? Right? But he's sensing some walls coming from her in a sense as well. So, you know, again, that's not to say Demetrius is innocent. I'm just kind of giving AP's perspective, because Demetrius out here, we got to talk about him. But yeah, I think AP probably just needs to maybe he's part of the rustiness of being on dating. I always say this, I don't believe in all that rustiness of dating. How people are, how people are. If you've got a hard exterior, you've got a hard exterior. It's because you've gone through things. It's not a beef. You've gone through things. If you've got a way of saying certain things, you're still going to say those things because that's what you've always done until there's a change. So I don't think AP is necessarily any different to how she was 5 years ago, unless maybe the circumstance of her husband passing, maybe that's caused her to be more harder. But that's her. So until she now does the work to reverse engineer that, that's her. She'll do it again. until someone goes, hey, like, babe, I don't think that's working for you. And she realizes that's not working for me. You know what I mean? So it's something that she can work on. I don't personally think that she's not even not in Ready to Love. I think she's not ready for the show. I don't think the show is the best place for her. I said this last time. I said, I don't know what a wife who has had a husband that's been loving, like you're saying, you're on a show like this, you are here to sell your coaching courses. Just be honest. All right, cool. Let's talk about Demetrius. Let's talk about Demetrius. Demetrius. Man. Listen, Demetrius, if you're watching this, I appreciate you, but bruv, I need to see more personality. Oh my gosh. Bro, I've barely seen any personality, and if you tell me editing, I'm gonna look at you some way, because every time this episode they had 3 chances to see you, bro. The most energy I saw from you was probably with Precious. That was about it. That's about it. That's about it. You know what I mean? So yeah. What's your thoughts on Demetrius, man? Mr. Lash, what are you saying? Sorry, I just you been drinking, my bad, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. I had to take a drink because, yeah. Demetrius. I actually even had to go on his Instagram just to see, like, there must be more. Like, what you're giving, I don't know if you're shy, scared, nervous, or you're just an introvert guy. I'm not getting anything from you, and it's just how you are. I think his eyes is just like that, because even how he poses on his Instagram, he just looks like a deer in headlights sometimes. It's just very fixated. Like, I wouldn't even know if I was dating him, if you were attracted to me or not. Even if you like a girl, you might say I might see something, but you're not even giving me any expression. It's very monotone. It's very like, I could see something, or yeah, I'm this, and it's every day you're on guard. Like, bro, take a deep breath, get into the process. Do you feel her? Do you like her? Even sometimes Sabrina's like, I don't know if Dimitri, like, from time the girls who like you are questioning, does he like they don't know where you stand, because you're just one tone, one level. There's no high pitch, there's no low pitch, there's no mid. You're just one key, and it's off key on camera. You got one key that's off key. It's not even in tune. Like, do you need a tune up? What is? There just needs to be a bit more. The only time, not even any vim, but when he told me, it's like, can you, like, Demetrius, come forward. Even the way he says, like, can you step forward? Can you step forward? Bro, it's like, this is not a next kind of show where the contestants are contesting to be the greatest dancer or whatever. It's like, number 22, step forward. Number 61, can you step forward? There's never been elimination where someone's asked people to step forward like that. So I don't know if he was nervous. It's just everything he does, in his delivery, in his tone, either if you're nervous or you're seeing that, okay, well, he's probably seen the comments and seen people say, go, do this. So you've tried to up it, but there's still no up. You've tried to turn the volume, but I still hear no sound. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is a show. Like, I was thinking, oh, handsome guy, but you're giving nothing. So you could even go home, because the girls can't. There's so much. We can't. Us women, we don't want to have to feel like we need to pull to get something out of you. We don't want to be doing all of this. It's too much work. You're either going to give me something, or you're going to just let it go, because no one's mom, no one's therapist, no one's nothing out here. Give me something. He gives me nothing. He gives me scared. He gives me God. He gives me, are you really from the end? He's giving me too much. He doesn't look comfortable. It just feels like everything's so tense. I just want to give him a massage. Like, dude, go, like, just relax. He's not, I don't know what it is. His every scene is just, I will be like, okay, I could fall asleep in this scene. You're not giving me anything. I can't work with anything. I can't even go on, like, again, looks fade. Like, first you're cute, but if you're giving me deadpan every day, I'm not going to want to watch. It's too much. I'm just going to be looking at the screen like this. Oh, no. Why do I have to have headache watching you on screen? It's like, I didn't come for a headache. I wasn't born to suffer. I want to, like, if even me, I'm like, come on, I'm trying to root for you, but if you are just not even trying to take a step forward, what can we do? What can we do? Demetrius is an interesting guy. That's why I had to even do FBI investigation, searching his page, and he's just that.
Okay, I'm hearing that, Miss Lash. Yeah, good points. Good points. I'm hearing that. Zion, what's your thoughts, man?
Maybe he's a quiet guy. And maybe he's like Laverne, where he wants women to come to him. You know what I mean? He prefers that sort of angle. Like, if they come to me, I don't really have to do too much. You know what I mean? And is he also in the military? No, he was
in the military, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he's got that whole, like, if I just, I don't know, keep straight and narrow, maybe, they'll just come to me. I don't have to really, like, I don't know. He's very, like, yeah. Because at first I thought it was editing. I thought, yeah, we're not really seeing as much of Demetrius, but then I'm thinking maybe the reason why is because he's not doing nothing. So they ain't got nothing to film, But he seems to light up more when he's with Sabrina, I've noticed. I don't know. There's like, he's not really given anything at this point. And yeah, he's a good looking guy, but I don't know. Maybe that's just how he is naturally. There are women that like guys like that. So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm hearing you. All right.
Yeah.
Cheers, JR, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think both ladies kind of hit the nail on the head, really. He's had 2 decades of military training. So I think that shaped his personality a lot. So when he comes across as deadpan or, quite absent from the moment, I think there's definitely an element of, just like someone said in the comment, actually, speak when spoken to. Like, I think he's definitely a product of the military training that he's had. And now that he's come out of it, I think it's so much ingrained in him that coming into this process where you have to speed date and probably come outside your comfort zone, come out your shell, interact a lot more than you normally would, I think he's found it hard to even G himself up, get the energy to even do that. I don't even think he even understands that he has to do that, to be honest. Quite robotic, quite cerebral, comes across as often in his own thoughts, or, like I said, kind of like a sit there and say nothing. But when someone includes me in a conversation, that's when I'll say something. But saying that, he seems to have the best connection with Sabrina. And so that leads me to believe that they're communicating off camera, because it isn't due to anything we've seen on camera. So they may be calling or texting or something along those lines. And Sabrina also did have him and Tori as her top 2 in the deliberation, I think. So, yeah, clearly, I think Sabrina is attracted to him and he has some level of interest in her. He shut down Precious when she tried to make the flirtatious maneuvers towards him, tried to slink her way up to him, you know. I think he had observed some of her behaviors with some of the other guys. And when she came to him now, he was kind of like, nah, man, look, pull your skirt down a bit, man. Like, the vibe you're bringing me is, like, bringing to me is not what I'm looking for, Precious. But with Sabrina, he took her to one side and they sat down and they had a moment together. And I think he also knows that Sabrina does have a connection with Tori. And because he did say something along the lines of, I'm going to up my game. But I don't necessarily know if that was competition with Tori or if it's, I need to up my game in terms of coming out of my shell. So that's what I think is yet to be seen. Hopefully, because he didn't get any camera time 2 weeks ago, and then last week, as we said, he was at the back of the bus, he didn't get much talking time. This week, they gave him some time, and I think hopefully next week, from what we saw in the trailer, the preview anyway, Sabrina goes and licks his ear when when they're asked to play a game or whatever. And that was interesting because there's something that's going on behind the scenes between the two of them that made her get up and do that. You know, she knows that Tori was feeling her based on his gesture this week of bringing her the 2 fairy cakes and saying, you know, like, I'm really feeling you, blah, 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 blah. I think she has a connection with Demetrius that is stronger than Tori to some degree. I think she wishes Demetrius had Tori personality. And yeah, so yeah, it's yet to be seen, yet to play out, but that's the vibes I'm getting from Demetrius this week. I think he is stoic, he is robotic, he is quite reserved, very reserved, but it's as a result of the military training. I think that plays some part in it. I'm not trying to excuse it, just trying to say that it obviously, after 2 decades of doing anything, you're going to be conditioned to it to some degree. And whether he's ready for this process is yet to be seen, but he does have a strong connection with Sabrina, at least.
Love that point, bro. Love that point. We've got last few minutes, so we'll just quickly touch on Sabrina and her little love triangle that's going on. You know, she's got Tori bringing her cakes and Demetrius bringing something. And so I want to just, you know, have a little quick conversation. What your thoughts are on Sabrina? Does she want the men to fight over her, or she just? JR nodded head. Okay, JR, talk to us. What are you saying, bro?
Definitely. Sabrina's trying to set up a scenario where she has both men fighting for her. I've noticed that not just this episode, but there's a few things she's done since she shut down Paul. I've noticed that she wants to see more from Demetrius, because Tori's already put himself out there and said, girl, I'm feeling you. Here's these 2 cakes. One for me, one for you, girl. We can grapevine. Take a bite. You know, he's really putting it out there, trying to be romantic and trying to connect with her. But for some reason, despite all these efforts, she still has Demetrius in her mind. She still reverts back to Demetrius. So for me, I think she's definitely trying to set up that situation where she gets more out of Demetrius and, you know, she has the 2 men vying for her, and then she can say, okay, well, I'm going to pick that X, and that's who I'm going to be with. I think that's a dangerous game to play, because we've seen that happen with Kyra 2 seasons ago. and it didn't pan. She ended up going home loving herself because both men realized what was going on, and one of them gracefully stepped away and pursued another option. The other one stuck it out, tried to be with her, and she did not want to be with him in the end. He was a second choice, and she just said, nah, I'd rather go home by myself. I think Sabrina she could quite possibly end up going home with no marbles. That she could lose the attention of both guys if she's not careful. So, yeah, Demetrius may just not be the guy that she's expecting him to be personality-wise. Tori's putting it out there. If you're not feeling Tori, you can gracefully let him down like you did with Paul. Don't string him along. Just keep it real with him. And if you are feeling Demetrius as much as you are, because the other thing, sorry to go on a tangent, but one key thing that she did after the show ended and it showed a trailer, if you see the hurt on Tori's face when she licked Demetrius's ear, that guy was broken. It seemed like, oh man, how can she do that knowing that I'm feeling her the way I am? And I told her how I was feeling. How could she do that to me in front of my face, in front of everybody? She went and licked Demetrius's ear. You know, he was hurt by that. So I think she's in jeopardy of losing both men if she's not careful.
I hear you on that, bro. I hear you on that. I mean, Tori did say he's ready to fight, sir. If she's looking somebody's ear, you better ready to bring your other ear. Zion, what's your thoughts?
I think Sabrina is playing a game. She's trying to make. I think she likes Demetrius more than she likes Tori, and I think she's trying to get Tori. She's trying to make Demetrius jealous, like see if it will bring out his character or something. You know what I mean? Because she ain't seeing as much right now. Because even on the bus when they was doing that little tour thing, she was like, "Oh, like I'm talking to who was she talking to? Was it Wiley? Who was she talking to on the bus?
Tori.
Was it Tori?
Who you talking about? Sabrina, right?
Was Tori on the tour bus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was talking to Tori, and he was just sitting there like, just not saying nothing. And she was thinking like, why isn't he talking to me? All this stuff. Like, I feel like she's using Tori so that because she really wants Demetrius, but hey, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. But yeah, she's getting Tori all caught up in his feelings. So then he's gonna while out when on the next episode. Yeah, it's about to be lit, and I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the fallout because she might end up by herself, to be honest. So, yes.
Cool. Appreciate that. Miss Lish, what are you saying?
Girl, she's playing a dangerous game. She thinks she's playing the game good, but like you said, when girls try and play the game, we will lose because there's another kind of tactic that I feel like guys have maneuvered. You can't try and play certain games and think you're going to come champion. You're the queen, not the king. So I just don't even... She's definitely, like Zion said, she hit the nail on the head. She's using Tori to get at Demetrius. She wants Demetrius to get some vim, get some fire light in his belly to be like, yo, come fight for me. Like on the bus, he's like, I want to know if he's like, he should have still shown like he wants, like she wants him to fight for her. And he's just too like monotone. But they must be having some conversations outside of the show because she is feeling the brother. She's feeling the shine on his forehead. She's feeling the brother. She's like, yeah, you're my chocolate Lex Luthor. She's feeling the brother with the beard. So she's using Tori, and Tori's already been like I want you. You know, he's doing all the little sweet stuff like, girl, candy girl. Yeah, he's doing the thing. And she's just going like, yeah, oh, this is so nice. But she's probably looking aside like, did Demetrius see that? What's Demetrius going to do? Like, she wants to see them fight over her. And even Demetrius said in one of his, I don't know if his interview, saying, if you want to fight, or I'll win, or I'm going to win, or whatever he said. Like, Demetrius is now showing some like, okay, you want to play the game? I'm going to. So that's what she wants. She wants a reaction. She's trying to play the game. And baby girl, at the end of it, you're going to lose. Because the way Tori looked, her, even I think they had a talk. I don't know if they're on the roof or something. It's at night, and he was fuming. He was not happy. Like, don't take man for a dickhead. Basically, he was saying, "Am I a dickhead? Am I a mug? Like, don't be having me out here, putting my feelings out here. You're pretending that you're feeling, man. Where in front of everybody, you're making me look like a dickhead. Like, you're licking man's ear when they're asking you who you feeling the most. You go to Demetrius, yeah, the one who's giving you nothing. I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you cakes. Are you mad? Do you know who I am in these streets? Do you not see my twist of hair? Like, he was really like, you have lost your marbles, girl. And she will lose. She will lose. So I don't know what game, but everyone is trying to do these tactics out here in these streets. This is not Brandy and Monica, the boys' mine. I don't know. She's walking a fine line. She's walking a fine line.
Look at the man's here. Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm definitely hearing what you guys are saying. And yeah, I mean, with Sabrina, I think she just wants someone to show some value in terms of proof. I think she's one of those ladies that like a man to prove, you know, that he actually wants her. So, I don't know if she actually wants the two guys to literally fight over her, but I think she wants them to fight for it. And she wants to see that physical effort. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, Tori kind of shuts it down by the next episode, obviously. You know, I mean, to be fair, brother, he has every right to feel the way he does. At the same time, I'm like, bro, but you know what? You said you're going to fight. Did you think the fight was going to be so straightforward that no one's... I mean, it's a game they're playing, you know, and, you know, part of that game, they were asking each other to do those certain things. So, you know, if they asked you a question, would you have done it? I don't know. Maybe you might have done. You know, who are you most attracted to? Or let's say, I don't know what it will say to you, but you know what I mean? So I get it, but you're out here talking about rearranging kidneys. So I don't know what the big deal is if old girl, you know, touch a man's ear. Do you know what I mean? But I get it. I understand. You have every right to bow out if you want to bow out too. I just knew that obviously he weren't really going to fight. So I told him, listen, man, them really don't do the fight stuff. We don't do. There's so much more women in the world. Why are you fighting for gal? I told you this. We could compete. We could. But there's so many more women in the sea. Why would you compete? It makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? If that brother wants it so much, hey, bro, let him have it, man. There's more of a woman in the sea, man. Do you know what I mean? So, but he said he wanted to fight, so now you here. Someone said Sabrina's Lois Lane. Yeah, you're right. One of them's Lex Luthor, and one of them's Clark Kent. But let's bring this to an end. Listen, it's been amazing having you guys on board once more again. Let me let you again let them know who you are and where they can find you. As well. So I'll go from Zion. Zion, go for it. Oh, I've muted you though, so hold on. Sorry, go for it.
Okay, you can find me at Zion's Rants on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you guys tap in with me.
Love that. Ms. Leish.
You can find me, the one and only Ms. Lash, on Instagram at Ms. Lash. Handle all up on the screen. Holla at me.
So cute.
I'm also single, by the way, guys.
I'm telling you, we all
putting it out there.
Come on now. JR, talk to him.
You can find and follow me on JRX TV on Instagram and real VIP training on Instagram also.
Love that, love that. Audience members, thank you so much for turning out strong, coming in your full forces for us today. We appreciate you. And my fellow castmates, my fellow panelists, thank you so much for sharing out your time with me. Really do appreciate that. It was a very good conversation. Really good points made, actually. Some really good deep conversations happening in amongst that as well, being weaved in. So appreciate that. So audience, we will see you tomorrow night for Married at First Sight, and then we'll see you, I believe, on Friday night for Love is Blind, the last episode. I think they're now releasing that, so that'll come out. And then Saturday we have Ready to Love. So we got live, more lives. Who wants a live? Because you all got one. You know what I mean? So we'll see you again very, very soon. Until next week, I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Much more love. Zion's blowing you kisses. I'm not doing that to you guys. I'm not doing that to you guys. Audience members, don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's not much I wouldn't do. So be careful out there in them streets, all right? Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded.